Okay, I'm getting ready to pull this. This is actually a 350 block, but I know the engine mounts are the same, so I wanted to. I put it in for various reasons, but anyway, one thing I can tell you, and again, this is to remind me, you cannot get at the back mount, the back bolt, after you get the engine in. I mean, you can, but it's a bitch. So I would say set it, put your block in, get the two top bolts right, lift it back up and tighten the bottom bolt. That's one thing that I learned. Anyway, I had this tied up because it was back heavy. So this is just step one. It's just a junk block. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that I don't need a 350. And again, I'm going to be starting and stopping these videos as I go. You know, there's like a wrinkle here. I wonder if it got hit, but I don't see any damage out here. I mean, it could have been that the frame, but no, the frame is welded together. Anyway, so let me, while we're at it, I'll pull this back. Again, I'm learning about this car. I've never had a Firebird or Camaro. I've always been a Mopar guy. The VIN number is right here. So if you want to find out if you have a matching transmission, I'll stop the camera, then I'll point it where the VIN number is on the transmission. So you look at the VIN tag or your paperwork, and the last 6 or 7 numbers right here on this side should be the same as the last numbers on your VIN tag. And I'll go over the engine later when I'm not ready for that right now, where the ID numbers are. But I will tell you this, those are not the right heads. They say, at least I don't think they are. I don't know if you can see that, and I'll double check this. Again, I can't remember everything anymore. This is how you at least tell you if you're in the range, but these say 6 ton. I can't remember now if it's supposed to say 6 by or 4 by, but I'll look that up. Oh, and the other day I was mumbling about the rear end, and when I went to get the rear end rebuilt, I made a recording asking the guy, you know, the correct way to put fluid in and all that, and so this is not exactly right, but I wrote upstairs, the original rear end gears were like 262, something like that. So I upped it to 3, again, I can't get these numbers exact, 323 or something like that. So I upped the ratio in the gears. It's the same rear end with different gears inside, and they're not the factory gears, they're Auburn gears. So I'm going to be jumping around throughout this because I'm figuring out as I go. I just thought of something else. Again, most of my life I have switched engines, but I took this whole subframe off, sandblasted it, took it all apart. It's a whole different ballgame. So anyway, I had to put these engine mounts back on, but I wasn't sure where they went. And they have different mounts. If you happen to get a bunch of different oddball pieces and you're not sure, but here's the way to tell. I found out. Figure out which mounting plates go in here, and then just measure from the center of this bolt hole to the center of that bolt hole. And that's what you gotta have here, because there is play. And if you look at this, I'm not gonna do a close-up, but there's all kinds of holes in here. I mean, from what I see, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 that aren't even used. So that means they probably a lot of different engines. They do a lot of different mounts. But the correct configuration, I might as well show you that, because I had to figure it out. I'll just do a close-up. That is how if you have a 76 Trans Am, because I'm not sure what changes from what year, and you got a 400 block, that's how this goes. See these 3 holes? Leave them alone. That is the way it looks. That's the way you want to be. But you also want to do, like I said, then measure across. And why it's off, something else I had to figure out is, here's the fuel line. You know, the fuel pump's going to be here. And again, I had stripped it. I couldn't remember, so I had to work it all out. Wait, let's see if I have to back out. Can't remember. Wish I had an automatic viewfinder. Wish I could just talk to it. So here's the thing that I learned. If you strip your car and you're lost and you're stuck and you happen to watch this video, that's where this bolt, for this fuel line, that's where it goes, right there. When this line comes down, so this is a return. It's a smaller size. I can't remember the size right now. And this is the main line. It goes bolts right there. It goes, let's see, comes across, goes under this arm, and comes back up. And it goes down here. A lot of little stuff you got to figure out. And this is the vapor line. And I guess that's all I need to go into right now. But again, it's a bitch. If you get a car that's incomplete, you got to figure all this out. Okay, I'm going to go over this one more time. For me too. This is the transmission. That's towards the engine. So we're on the driver's side. The first number is Pontiac, a 2, and then that's the VIN. So if you look at that, it's 6N579193. So again, this is the, you can't know if you can see it, steering wheel's right there. So that number, if you notice, let me look at my I have a paperwork here. (6N579193). The 2 is Pontiac, the WA7 is Trans Am, and the 6 is 76. Again, I just want to see if this is a numbers matching car. I knew it was, but I keep forgetting stuff, so I'm going to go to the engine block now. So on this, you know, they put numbers in different spots, and sometimes they make mistakes, but this one's on the right spot. So this 76, this is we're looking at the front of the car, passenger side. I just sanded out the paint. 26N579193. So I know I got the right block, right transmission, right to match the car. I know the rear ends are only date coded. I know that's right. The only thing that's wrong is the heads, but they were missing and there's nothing I can do about that. So what I did then is I got some of the bigger valve heads off a different year, and I had to have, I'll date code that later. I forget what they are. And then there's one more thing. Let's see, where is it? Somewhere on here is a Z. Let me turn it off. And right here there's an XZ. So, yeah, I did some searching. You really got to search for some of the stuff, but this is, like I said, that's just a confirmation. I'll show you one more thing. So we already know the VIN number's right because we looked at it, but you notice it says 75 right here. So they made the block in 75, but then they stamped the VIN the year they put the car out. So there's numbers all over this place, all over that, but so don't let that fool you if you're doing what I'm doing, looking. Just because that says 75, no, you got to look at the VIN, because the VIN says 76, because it matches the vehicle ID. Yeah, I hope this comes out. Anyway, so this is the 76 supplemental manual. Let me turn this viewfinder, see if I'm in the right spot. Yeah. So the first number, Pontiac 2. That's what I got. Body style, it's an F body. WA7, that's a Firebird Trans Am 2-door hardtop coupe. Then the W is supposed to be the engine code, but it doesn't match my VIN number. So you got to watch out. You got to look for these. I think it's called PhD documentation. So I got that. Anyway, that number's wrong. The year of digit that I had a 6. P, I have a N. Mine was made in Norwood, wherever that is. And then the sequence. Let's see. If I go to the sequence, 579. Again, I'm looking at the VIN and my number 57919. I guess it's 57,000. No, they only made like 1,600 of these, so I don't know. I haven't figured that one out yet. Anyway, you really got to search for this stuff. So I'm just talking. Let me see if I can get that, find that PhD stuff. So, it's hard to do this camera. Where am I? Let me just zoom back out a little bit. It's not PHC, it's PHS. You can write in. Let me see if I'm in the viewfinder. The only reason I did this car is because it's a rare car, and I figured if I'm going to do a car, this thing cost $1,800. If I'm going to do a rare car, if I'm going to do a car, I might as well do one that's rare and has some value, because there's no way you ever recover all of them. But anyway, I'm just going to read it. It's a 4-barrel, 400 turbo-hydramatic 4-speed manual. Came with steel belted radios, power steering, variable ratio, power disc. That's the front, but now I got them in the back. Catalytic converter, getting rid of that. High energy ignition system. I would assume that's electronic ignition, but the distributor's missing. Single bucket seats. Miles per hour, enduro bumper, sport mirrors, left-hand control. Well, I guess the driver's side has a remote control mirror, which weren't on there, or I can't remember. Formula. Wheels, blah blah blah, rally gauges, clock, tack, shaker hood, air extractor, deflectors, chrome, and then it's got all this junk. Power locks, power windows, electric rear window defroster. That's missing. Custom air conditioning, front seat console, cruise control, heavy duty alternator, tilt steering. It came with an 8-track, that's missing. Super cooling radiator, special edition package. Everybody talks about what is a special edition. Here it is. Gold honeycomb wheels. I don't have those. Gold interior appointments, stripes and emblems. Door handle ornamentation, pedal trim package, custom bucket seats, luggage lamp, glove box light, courtesy light, starlight black. 19N it says. So somewhere in here it says how many of these they made. I think it's 1,600. Anyway, this is the kind of stuff. If you're into this kind of stuff, since I'm making this video, let's see, the cost of this car was here's the original invoice, $6,184. I'm looking for a date, and there's the VIN number again. The special edition package was $339. This right here says, I can't read this. It's 8/17/76 or 9/7/76. Weight 3,700 pounds. Then it's got the black interior, black exterior. So it's black on black. They just didn't make that many of these. Again, it's just anybody that's interested. This is how you do it. And I always mumble, but I'll pick this up as I'm talking. That's the only reason I bought it. I could have bought a car that was all done. I mean, I don't really have the money, but I could have. But then what do I do with it? Just drive it around? That's not the fun of it. The fun of it to me is doing the work. Or something to do. Let me just see if I can find out how many of these were made. Look at this. It says head casting. 76. Oh, they are 6x heads. Maybe I'll go look at that. I know I got the right carb. Firebird production. We made 46,000, but not the special edition. Let me see if I can find that. Since I'm getting into it on this video. So it says right here, 644 had T-tops, 110 had L75s, that's really rare, and 1947 were without T-tops, and 309 had L75 engines. I'm not sure what an L75 engine is. Let's see. Let me go back a page. According to this, a 404 barrel is an L78. No. Okay. 319 had 455. So if you can find a 1976 455 with a Hearst T-top, they made 319. Then you go into how many had power steering, colors, and all that. It gets lower and lower. I think this cost about, I can't remember, $100, $200, I don't know, but I wanted it. Pretty cool. Just looking at it. Let's see. Build Coops Incorporated. I gotta look that place up. See if it's still around. Oh, there it is. Assembly plant in Norwood, Ohio. And this is sold in Vancouver. And I'm in Washington, so this is a local car. It's local to the state. Or sold local to the state. Anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna end it with this, so. When I stripped the block, it was frozen. You can see that it had water in the oil. That's the oil pump. It was completely covered. That's one picture. Another picture. Another picture. And I have all these on my computer. When I go to as I try to put this together, I go back and try to see what kind of clues I can get. But if you look here, see the way that's all rusted? There was nothing on the engine this way. That's the no water pump, no alternator, no nothing. So that's what makes it hard. But interesting. Okay, this is definitely the last. I just thought this was interesting. This is the maintenance schedule. Oil change. Every 7,500 miles. And it only goes up to 45,000. That's it. Then I found the ride height. I couldn't find the wheel wall height. But according to this, it's the F body. J and K. It's like 8 inches. I think I'm right now. I'm at about, in the rear, I'm at about 11. That's why I said I got too stiff of springs. I think it really depends. You know, the lower the center of gravity, the better it handles if you're into racing. Again, I'm just doing this for fun. I'll probably hardly ever drive it. It's just the fun of it, that's all. Or the challenge. Well, I said I was going to end it, but this is going to be the ending shot. Again, with this coronavirus going on, you just need something to do to keep your mind off it, keep positive. So what I got to do, first of all, you don't want to have to move this engine around any more than you have to. Line up your engine stand, leave room to get this out of the way, leave room to walk by. Make sure you put your engine mounts on. You should probably put some tape on here, or find a dipstick. Put the flex plate on. And then I still gotta put the transmission. I'm thinking about just, once I get it hanging, I'll just back my table with the transmission on it and see if I can't just jiggle it around and line it up. And then I found I'm missing, I got 4 bolts, but I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, but I got 6 spots. Let's see, I'm gonna go count the transmission off the camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, yep, 6. So I'll just try to find the same kind of bolts. Again, it doesn't matter. I got certain markings on them, just for the heck of it. I got tons of bolts. The guy that I got this car off of gave me a bunch of box of bolts. So I'll clean this up and see if I can find the right one. If not, I'll just have to buy them. Nobody will ever know but me. It's just, like I said, it's just the fun of it, and to see if I can do it.